Well, I've got about 90 miles until the next town, so I just got my resupply, and I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what I got. I try to mix it up a little bit this time because I'm getting sick of the same old stuff. For breakfast, I'm doing 2 oatmeal packets a day, so that only gets me 4 mornings, but that should be about right. For lunch, I'm doing ramen noodles, and then just kind of supplementing that with pepperoni and Slim Jims. For dinner, I still have these mountain houses left from when I came back from my brother's graduation. I had these at home, so I've got 2 of those dinners, and then these soup mixes. For breakfast, I always have to have my coffee, and I've got a couple other drink mixes and stuff in here that I already had, and some dehydrated milk. These are the snacks that I had left in my pack from like when I got to town. And then these are the snacks that I'm hoping will last me the next 4 to 5 days. So I got 4 cotton bars, some seaweed that I could even put in my ramen noodles or just eat regular, dehydrated bananas, cashews, these little chia things. These are heavy, but I'm like, I don't know, I need just a little something different. Got some blueberries, and then they were out of regular Snickers, so I had to go with Snickers with almonds, but I have to have Snickers. And for my pace right now, I'm doing between like 15 to 25. So on average about 20 miles per day. So that's, 90 miles, 4 to 5 days, depending on how much I do today, which I'll be getting out late this evening. But anyway, so I went ahead and planned for about 4 or 5 days. Back at the trailhead, and here, in case you didn't know, you could hike a mile or 2,000 of the Pacific Crest Trail. And this is one of those disappointing maps. I remember seeing something like this on the AT that's like, there's this whole thing, and you feel like you've been hiking forever and you are here. Wow, that's kind of sad. It's gonna end up being a night hike tonight, but there's like a 24-mile stretch without water from where we just left in town, so it just makes sense to do some of it at night, so you don't need as much water because you're not in the heat of the day. Although it was kind of chilly and breezy today, which is weird because it's been like blistering hot. So that's the desert for you. Well, last night was windy as all get out. We got down near Highway 58 that goes back to Tehachapi, and ended up camping just like at a flat spot. It was kind of tucked away out of the wind. It's a lot better this morning, but it is so cloudy this morning. But kind of nice, so didn't have to get up near as early, and I'm actually cold this morning, so it's a nice change. The struggle has been real this morning. The wind nearly blew me down a couple of times coming up this climb, and I still have about 2.5 miles of it, and my hands are numb, my nose is running, but really actually thankful for the cool weather and the wind and the clouds, because this long stretch without water would be much more miserable if this wasn't the case. So always try to look at the sunny side of things instead of wallowing in the misery. Today has been a good day, but an exhausting day. Fighting the wind will really take a lot out of you. I'm finally in my tent after that long, windy day. It feels good to be, I don't know, just out of it. I'm kind of nestled away in some trees, so hopefully the wind won't be hitting my tent too hard. But something that you do have to think about when it is windy like this and you try to get cover from trees is to make sure that nothing around you is dead and that a branch is gonna fall off and wreck you in the middle of the night. So I did pay attention to that when I was setting up, but yeah. Also, I almost sent this puffy and long sleeve top and leggings and warm socks to the next town before entering the Sierras, because I thought, I don't need it anymore. It's like scorching hot. I'm having to wake up at 3:30 to hike, and this just shows how quickly weather, you know, in the mountains, in the desert, I mean, really on any trail that you get any kind of elevation, you know, it can change so quickly and make it for a miserable night of sleeping. So I was really glad today to have, you know, warm clothes to change into whenever I got to camp. So just something to keep in mind. It's gonna be another windy day. If you decide you want dreadlocks in your hair, you don't have to go through, you know, all that rigorous process that most people do. You just have to come hike up here north of Tehachapi on the Pacific Crest Trail in this wind, and it'll do all the work for you. Let's go fly a kite up to the... Unfortunately, even though all of the rest of my body seems to be doing very well since I've been back on trail, I have noticed that my plantar fascia is kicking in, and when I think about it, it makes sense. Just like with the AT, I pushed my shoes to like 600 or 700 miles, my trail runners, and these have about 530 now, so it seems like 500 is about the limit for me and trail runners, and I just honestly forgot to you know, pay attention to the mileage on them. So I've got another pair coming at Lake Isabella, so you know, it's another like 80 miles or so that I'll have to suffer a little bit, but I'm trying to, in this stretch, you know, since I know that the support's gone in my others, and I'll just make a point to, you know, try to stop and take little breaks and massage my feet and roll them out and do all of those things, you know, the stretches, just make sure I stay on top of that since I am feeling it a little bit. Turned into a pretty day after all. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine headed my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. So I've had a lot of time to like think about things since all I've been doing is walking, and just got to thinking maybe it wouldn't be so daggum windy if they'd turn these fans on. Yeah. Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. That would be pretty sweet. Have a bluebird like hanging out on your shoulder the whole time you're hiking. Maybe I need to get a parrot. Do a through hike with a parrot. Hi. Give your little hand. Yeah, I would be upset if a giant picked me up too. I wish you could smell this video, because it smells like Christmas. What I'm hoping the rivers in the Sierras will look like. Nothing could end this day better than a hot bowl of chili. I mean, I guess maybe if there was like some meat in the chili, that would be awesome. I had some of that ground beef, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. Good night. It's definitely in the low 30s this morning. I don't want to get up. I was able to finally climb out of my tent because the sun kind of started shining. Such a baby. I am currently heading 0.2 miles on a dirt road to a campsite up here that point to further from that campsite. There's a spring, and that's the last water guaranteed for a 40-mile stretch. So things might get a little interesting, but apparently there are usually water caches in the next 40-mile stretch. So I'm gonna fill up probably to my capacity, which is 6 liters, and just make it work. So because I'm trying to conserve fuel, I have built a little fire that I'm gonna cook on, but these little soup and like Cajun mixes and stuff like that, the rice and the beans kind of take a little while to cook all the way through. So while I'm waiting for the coals to be burned, well, waiting for the wood to burn down the coals, I'm just like soaking this stuff. So maybe it won't take as long. Throw in a little crackers. Definitely not thrilled about the over 13 pounds of water that I just added to my back. But it's making me stronger so I can whoop the Sierras. It's gonna make me appreciate the water in the Sierras. And when I get done hiking, it's gonna really make me appreciate being able to turn on my faucet and drink whatever I want, whenever I want. So sometimes you gotta go through some pain and misery to appreciate things that you take for granted in life, right? So here is a field of poodle dog bush. And you see how close it is to the trail. Somebody could just easily run right into it or go, oh, these flowers are pretty, let me smell of them, and then suffer the wrath. It is surely pretty. More Dr. Seuss trees. They look like they belong in Horton Hears a Who or something like that. 1,000 kilometers, in case anyone was wondering. You know how you use the bathroom out in the woods and you dig a cat hole? Well, obviously they call it that because, you know, cats will dig hole or like bury their turds, but on the PCT more so than the AT, I actually feel like a cat in a litter box, because when you're burying it and it looks like this, it looks like kitty litter, and you really embrace your inner cat. About 20 miles from the next town, which means about halfway through the dry stretch, and supposedly there's sometimes a cache up here at the road, but there either will be water and I'll keep trucking today, or else I'm gonna sleep under one of these trees under some shade and then just night hike the rest tonight, hoping there'll be water so I don't have to do that, but we'll see. And I could just detour on one of these little side paths, you know, but that adds like, the next one adds like 8 miles, and I think it's not even a definite source. It's not definitely reliable, so yeah, hoping there's water. Yeah! It's like music to the ears. Water and shade. I was just saying this morning how I was running out of food because the stretch was taking a little bit longer, and I didn't have breakfast for the morning, but oatmeal is in this cooler the trail provides. And as much as I've cursed peanut butter, I'm running out of snacks, so I may actually use. Whoa! I cannot tell you, the trail really does provide. I'm also low on battery power in their chargers.
Batteries everywhere.
I cannot get over this. Like, everything I need is in this one stop. I really can't believe it. And hand sanitizer. So that was like a water cache / trail magic experience. back there. The guy who runs it, his name is apparently Devilfish, and he showed up right as we're about to take off. It was kind of cool that we got to see him and kind of helped him like replenish the cash and the food and stuff. But he had basically everything you could possibly need there to hold you over till the next town. It's just amazing that people do stuff like this. I don't know, you know, the saying the trail provides is used a lot, but it's really true. And you know, all of us are willing to help out our fellow hikers. So I don't know, just a cool experience to kind of top off the day. I certainly don't have a clue what the Sierras are going to hold for me, but I will say that I'm happy that in less than 100 miles I will be done with this desert. I think I have maximized all of the fun I could possibly have here. So, time to move on to new things. It's potentially the last sunset I'll see in this desert.